Hello, viewers. Welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVP. So lovely. So I came across this video on my For You, and I thought to share with you guys where yet again this pan-colored man comes out to talk about how Black or African people never invented braids, and she has all the right in this world to wear braid as much as she like, because this braid was actually invented by the Vikings. This got some people reacting, especially from our brothers, and I was able to put out some of those stitches. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into
These people are going to make me go bald one day.
I'm allowed to wear braids. I've been seeing a lot of hate comments about my braids saying it's offensive, disgusting, it's cultural appropriation, it's f***ed up. How is it f***ed up when Vikings are the ones that invented braids?
What truly astounds me is that white people continue to use this same talking point as if it's going to change our minds one day. No, we have debunked this multiple times already. At this point, I am getting exhausted of going down this rabbit hole. What you are wearing, Natalie, is not Viking braids. What you have in your hair is Black and African braids. That's what it actually is. Natalie, let's be so for real right now. Braids was originated and invented in ancient Africa. Vikings did not discover it first, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, for fuck's sakes, Natalie, if you're going to be confident, at least be right. The origination and invention of braids is not the main topic. The main topic of this conversation is you trying to make Black and African braids Viking. And you saying that is Viking braids, which it is not, is cultural appropriation. If you said, yes, I have Black and African braids in my hair and I do my best to pay homage and respect the culture and the people, then by all means, we don't give a shit. The only thing we ask of you is make sure you put reliever in your hair so your hair doesn't fall out, because your hair is not strong enough to have all that tightness in your scalp. And those beads in your hair, Natalie, that is Black and African. Vikings didn't have beads in their hair either. We have been rocking beads, feathers, pearls, jewelries for a very long time. White people never did that, and Vikings never did either.
If you are really that offended by me wearing braids in 2025, you need to get a grip on reality. It is not that deep.
Only thing white people ever done was force Black women to cover their hair, stop them from ever decorating their hair because white women felt intimidated by Black women's confidence and reassurance. Teaching law. Look it up. Those beads, feathers, pearls, and jewelries that Black women was using to decorate their hair, all of that came from Africa. So not only white people stopped Black women from ever decorating their hair, but they canceled the trade entirely from Black women to ever get those resources again. And one more thing, Natalie, these are Viking braids. Take a really good look at these braids. Notice how none of these braids look like anything you have in your hair? That's because what you have is not Viking braids. These are Black and African braids. You see the difference? The Black and African braids is exactly what you have in your hair. So in case you want to wear Black and African braids, just say that. Just be respectful and stop trying to culturally appropriate and stop trying to take our culture and make it Viking. If you want to wear Viking braids, maybe try these out. And I promise you, no one is not going to say a damn thing about it. But you're not going to wear those Viking braids, are you? Of course not. You want to wear our braids. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just admit that you want to wear our braids. Like, goddamn, I know we're cool, but don't try to make it seem like our culture isn't our own.
Why are we arguing about hairstyle? And I just want to get one thing straight. If a person of can wear a wig that's blonde and straight, I can wear braids.
First of all, why did she mute the word person of color like it was a slur or an insult? Oh god, this video. Natalie, you seriously need to educate yourself, because you do understand that white and Europeans are not the only ones that have straight blonde hair and blue eyes, right? Africans, Black people, Hispanic and Latinos, Arabs, Asians, Native Americans, they all can have straight blonde hair and blue eyes. Naturally. And one more thing, Natalie. People like you are the main reason why many Black people today have such an issue with white people wearing Black and African hairstyles, because instead of just paying homage and being respectful and just owning up to it, you try to colonize our hairstyles, make it seem Viking, which it is not, and then you got your history wrong. Then you put beads in your hair that clearly signifies Black and African hairstyles. Never in my fucking life, Natalie, have I ever seen white people or in history put any type of beads or feathers in their hairs. I only saw Black and African women do that for not just history, but even as I grow up. White people are just now doing it because it is a trend. And it's not just black people that do it to Natalie. No, white people colonize and sexualize the hell out of Asian culture. Not to confuse them with a monolith, but they always get multiple different Asian cultures mixed up with one another as if they're the fucking same. They do it to Mexicans. They do it to Native Americans. It's a rinse, cycle, and repeat. Nothing is being taught and nothing is being learned. So if you want to wear the braids, Natalie, just admit that you like the culture, you want to wear the braids, and just be respectful. Oh my God, I cannot stress this enough. That is all I gotta say on the matter. I'm done.
I believe if somebody of color can wear a wig, I can wear braids.
Then wear the braids. Wear the braids. Who cares? Black people, black women specifically, are still living their lives. They got a lot more pressing matters to worry about, like, I don't know, your president in office. I promise you, they don't give a damn anymore about y'all wearing culture appropriated hairstyles. You're only showing your character. You're only showing us who the hell to stay away from and who not to support. So wear them. And then you mentioned something about the Vikings. Why didn't you wear the Viking braid styles? Why did you wear box braids? You know why you're wearing black cultural ethnic hairstyles instead of the BS Viking braids that you mentioned in your own video? Because you want to disrespect black women. You want to antagonize them. And I promise you, all of you white women that do these braids, that's your sole purpose, is to piss black women off. And black women ain't falling for that crap no more, man. This ain't 2021. Find some other rage bait content, respectfully.
People are trying to say it's offensive and cultural appropriation, and I just don't understand how. How can my hair be cultural appropriation when Vikings are literally the ones that invented braids?
Okay, I don't know how I became the resident white person whisperer when it comes to cultural appropriation and hairstyles, but here we are again. It remains true that I would rather take on the labor of trying to explain this to my fellow white people than pass the labor on to black creators who have been trying to explain these concepts to white people their entire lives. So let's see if we can get a little closer to a place of mutual understanding this time. So a lot of people have tagged me in the comments of this person's videos, and I think what's happening here is a fundamental misunderstanding of what cultural appropriation actually is and why it's problematic. Or maybe an incomplete understanding of cultural appropriation would be the better and more accurate language to use. So this creator is very confused in all of her videos. She doesn't know how she could possibly be getting accused of cultural appropriation when it was the Vikings who first invented braided hair. So a few things here. First of all, she's wearing her hair very obviously in cornrows, not just basic braids. And I think that she knows that. And I think that she's being a little bit knowingly disingenuous when she frames it by just calling them braids. And second of all, this whole Vikings invented braids thing is kind of a moot talking point because A, we don't actually know who invented braids. Lots of different cultures throughout all of human history have worn their hair in braids. And B, that's not what the problem actually is. This is where the misunderstanding comes into play. White people in America wearing black hairstyles is not problematic because black people invented it and you're stealing their invention. That's a misunderstanding of what the problem is. This creator most likely believes that cultural appropriation is simply when someone takes something from another culture that they do not belong to. And while that is an aspect of cultural appropriation and what makes cultural appropriation problematic at a systemic level, it's ultimately incomplete because no one actually has a problem with the basic concept of cultures sharing things. If I want to right now, I can go in my kitchen and make myself fried rice or a quesadilla, and no one's going to accuse me of being racially or culturally insensitive. Okay, you might be asking, so what's the difference? Why is it okay for you to culturally appropriate Asian food or Latino food, but it's not okay for you to appropriate a black hairstyle? The reason why I can go make a quesadilla right now is because No Latino person is getting turned down from a job because the boss says that they feel like their food that they make is unprofessional. They're not being systemically or institutionally discriminated against, dehumanized, or marginalized because of the fact that they like to put cheese in tortillas and put other things in there and grill it up and eat it. That's not to say that Latino people don't experience institutional or systemic discrimination. They absolutely do, but it's not on the basis of what kind of food they eat. Black people, however, do experience institutional and systemic discrimination and marginalization because of their hair. They are told regularly that wearing their hair in natural hairstyles like cornrows or bantu knots or locks is unprofessional or thuggish or unsightly. They are systemically dehumanized, profiled, and oppressed specifically because of these hairstyles. So it would not be culturally insensitive or disrespectful for me to make a quesadilla. However, if I were interviewing someone for a job and that person was Latino and I said, I don't want you stinking up the office kitchen with quesadillas and tacos and burritos, and I denied them that job because of the food that they eat, and then I went home and I threw a taco party for all of my white friends in my cul-de-sac, that would be a problem. Do you understand the distinction there? Hopefully you understand the distinction there. And right now you might be thinking, yeah, but I didn't do that. I didn't deny anybody a job because of their hairstyle. I am not systemically oppressing black people because of the way they wear their hair. Why should I be punished for the society that I live in? And that's why I think it's important to not think of this as punishment. Just think of it as a matter of basic respect and sensitivity. All you're doing when you refrain from wearing certain hairstyles as a white person in America is showing respect and sensitivity for the discrimination that you know does unfortunately exist in the society that you find yourself in.
I wish white women would do actual Viking braids. Like, we should really look into, like, braiding our hair, braiding each other's hair in, like, European, like, white European Viking styles. Normal white people should do it, because you racist fucks love to do box braids and then start conversations that I don't think black people, like, even care to engage in. Like, some will entertain y'all, but, like, at the end of the day, I think y'all do certain things to make black people, particularly black women, mad. And in all actuality, I don't think they care, because at the end of the day, y'all are just making yourselves look goofy. Your scalps are screaming. You don't look good. This isn't authentic to you. Y'all will live outside of your own authenticity because you want views and you want to partake in rage bait so bad. You don't have to do that. Let's get into it. Us as white people, you know, indigenous people, whatever, Mexicans, Hispanic people, let's get into the braiding that, you know, our ancestors were doing. That'll be fun. But to sit there and say, oh, box braids, black people don't own box braids, do what you want to do, I guess. But I'm telling you, it doesn't look good on you. You're desperate for attention, and I wish everybody would ignore you.
Vikings invented braids. I'm sick of people saying that this hair is cultural appropriation.
Just let her have this one. If you know, you know.
You guys are saying Vikings didn't invent braids.
About that, those aren't Viking braids. Those are Fulani braids from the Fulani people of West Africa. Free game. But you told people...
Look it up on Google.
Also, African people supersede Vikings by 300,000 years. But I'm sure the first Viking was like, nobody's doing this yet. You've made like a dozen videos baiting people into your hairstyle. I don't see you making any videos about this. Was this you? Did you offer a homeless woman $20 to jump into a lake and she didn't know how to swim? And when she screamed that from the water, you said, ha ha ha, seriously.
You said it was okay.
You said you wanted to swim.
You told me to jump in.
I didn't tell you to jump in.
Yes, you did. I can't swim. I can only float.
Oh, she might literally die.
No, stop. Seriously, don't stop. Please, you're actually freaking me out. No, please. Please, don't.
You're worried about the wrong things. Also, why are you so averse to feedback when people are like, hey, this is cultural appropriation. Hey, what you're doing isn't Vikings. Hey, here's some information. Like, why is it problematic for you to take in new information? I wanted to fit a, what is it, the braids joke in here, but it's really not. It's the attention. It has nothing to do with the braids. As if all that wasn't strange enough, can you explain to me why you started questioning black people in front of a KFC about braids?
The internet is hating on me for having braids, so today we're gonna get the public's thoughts.
We get it. You have braids. It's your whole personality. Oh, and that whole thing where you pretend that you're related to Ryan Reynolds is weird.
Go! Dude, she's drowning in the lake!
God, there's a fire truck. Nah, this is bad. Natalie. Wait, this is really
I
bad.
seriously love this at this point. Just like the other brother said, black men or black people don't even care about all of this anymore. Like, you people should just get a grip of yourself. Why is it that some of these people cannot just allow people that look like me to drink their water and keep the glass of cup that they used to drink this water? Like, they just all of a sudden, sometimes when they see that everywhere, just, calm black people minding their business and focusing more on how to develop themselves, they just look for ways to get, to get to black people. If they don't come with, politically, they will come with appropriations and all of that. So this young lady, I have been seeing her videos all over my For You page. What she does is to, make braids and go on to, questioning people on how the braids look on her, if it is actually appropriate for her to wear these braids. She got a lot of response, and people were like, yeah, you can actually wear the braids if it suits you. If you want it, you can sure wear the braids. But the thing is that these people don't really want to believe that people that looks like me can actually invent anything. Or anytime they say that people that looks like me have or invented something, they will try as much as they can to debunk it and try to colonize it and make it theirs. So this lady is all around talking about how her braids is actually invented by Vikings. That the braid is actually, Vikings. But this lady in question is wearing a black and African braid. I just thank goodness that the people I stitched their video are actually showing her what Vikings braids looks like. And the fact is that they're not even the people that invented this thing. It has always been there. The Asian Africans invented this. And these people don't want to rest themselves about this braid thing. I have been hearing about this braid thing over and over again. Is it nice, cultural appropriation or not? Like, they are bent in trying to colonize and make it look like black people has nothing to do with this braid. But the thing is that you can never cheat nature. You can never cheat nature, no matter how you want to, try. Braid your hair and let a black man braid her hair, lose it, and you see who loses hair the most. Sometimes people that look like me just want to care as much as to tell you that this kind of braid does not really suit well for your scalp. It can damage your hair, it can weaken your scalp, it can even cause you to lose your hair. But because these people are just bent in wanting to colonize or have something that they know that they can never change, they just want to own it. This also has to do with the country music and Beyonce thing. Like, they do not just want to hear that black people invented this or did this or did that, or it's actually made for. No. They just want everything to be all about them. Then please just do it. Braid as much as you like. Like, just do it. People that look like me that complains about stuff like this are not even complaining that you are wearing it. They are complaining to the fact that you are trying to make it not to look like it was actually invented by people that look like me. You can wear any hairstyle of a choice. But that does not really give it a, to not to give credit to the original people that actually invented that. Why trying to change the truth in front of you? Why not just, oh my goodness. Sometimes when I see things like this, I ask myself, is it that these people just intentionally just want to spite people that looks like me to just get us talking, to just get us keep on getting into some argument that doesn't even worth it? Because this is just, it's just like black and white. The truth is just in front of you, but you just don't want to accept the fact. You just want to deny something that you know deep inside of you that is the truth. Seriously, this is just getting so irritating sometimes. Like, you are wearing an African black hair and you just want to justify the fact that it's a Viking braid. Like, are you serious right now? Are you just pretending, or you just want to get attention, or what? Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So guys, if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on this subscription button, like, and I will see you lovelies when I leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if I yet to do that, like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.